My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to Slay the Spire, where I have decided that less is more. We're going to go with the Ironclad Ascension 20 sealed deck, as well as starter deck. So we just get those cards. No vintage, in order to give us extra relics instead of cards or anything like that. No other modifiers. It's just Ascension 20 with the 30 cards that we get at the very start. Or rather, the 10 that we select. I think this might be a little closer to the right balance. Still finding it, though. Time for a challenge. Okay. Woo! Alright. I immediately see 2 Wild Strikes and an Evolve, so there's some play in that. There's also a Reckless Charge, another Wild Strike down here. Okay, so we could use an Evolve. Do we have ways to burn them? We have a True Grit available to us. We have a Sentinel available as well, which is to say that we benefit from extra sources of exhaust. We can't necessarily rely on getting any other elements that aren't immediately presented here, which means that to take a deck that would rely on getting, you know, something like Fiendfire to exhaust a lot of the wounds that would end up stacking in our deck, that could be a problem. Especially considering it's going to be difficult to make the deck thicker. Adding a bunch of status cards in it and then having it evolve that typically would be upgraded, so it draws 2 extra cards every single time you draw a status, means that our hand is going to be wound, card, wound, card, wound, card, wound, card. And as the amount of wounds in the deck increases, the wounds are going to start drawing wounds, and we will just have a hand that is entirely unplayable. Which will happen quite quickly with a couple of Wild Strikes in a deck of 10 or 11 cards, as the case may be, because of Ascender's Bane. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. All right. What other options do we have? Well, we've got a fair few strikes here. We don't have much defense in this deck, which is a big problem. So I'm looking at basically every single defensive option that's available here. I'm looking at and going, okay, maybe that's it. I'm thinking maybe we actually end up taking Shrug It Off, Body Slam, Iron Wave, True Grit. So what's that? 5 cards, another Shrug It Off, 6. Possibly a Battle Trance. 7, Shockwave 8. Then I've got to think, if I've got Body Slams in my deck, how am I going to deal with... What type of enemies does that make it more difficult for us to deal with? What makes it more difficult for us to deal with enemies that don't want us to play skills? So if we get Hex, that's a problem. If we go up against the Gremlin Knob, that's a problem. Against the Gremlin Knob, we're probably still going to be okay, as long as we have an upgraded Body Slam before then. Against Hex on the next floor, we're just going to have Artifacting to protect us or something like that. No, I think the Body Slam deck is the correct one. Also, it's worth noting that every time I make this selection, I'm effectively making a selection for the deck for the rest of the game. So I have to consider scalability. So a build that has like a bunch of Wild Strikes doesn't really scale. Not that much. It upgrades by 5 damage when you upgrade it. Whereas a build with Body Slams scales pretty wildly because of cards like Entrench and the inclusion of occasional rare cards and relics that also bump up the amount of block that you get, or the amount of damage that you'll deal through the Body Slam. It's much more impactful. It's much more variable. So Body Slam, Shrug It Off. Let's do it in order of like value effectively. I think Iron Wave, both of those next actually. That gives us some direct damage without the Body Slams, but it also it will also amplify the Body Slams. We could take an Armaments, but because the deck is going to be so thin, I think we're going to get a lot of upgrades really early on anyway. Damn. I can't guarantee that is the problem. And with 2 body slams in the deck, it is so important that I upgrade those. So an early upgrade on an armament seems really good. Body slam, shrug it off armaments, Iron Wave. So 5, 6, 7, 8 with True Grit, 9 with Battle Trance. I don't want another armaments. Deck's not thick enough to support that. And then Shockwave. So what? We've got defensive, hybrid, attack, utility. I mean, come on. Throw an entrench in there and you've got a deck going. Okay. Well, armament's a body slam. It's just going to make it better on the next rotation through the deck. Okay, happy to Battle Trance there. Armaments on a shrug it off so that we can Iron Wave, shrug it off, and then body slam to kill. Thank you for the weak potion and absolutely nothing else. Remove a card from our deck, upgrade a card, because I think it's more important that I upgrade armaments literally right now. Cool. Especially because Battle Trance allows us to occasionally get quite large hands that we can then affect by... I just had to not burn a body slam, damn it. Which we can then impact with the armaments, is what I was going to say. Okay. Power Potion, choose 1 or 3 random powers. No, thank you. Oh, that's another body slam. That's a 0-cost block card. In a deck that has this much draw, a 0-cost block card is probably quite useful. And Good Instincts was recently buffed. It was 4 on its base level and then 8 on its upper level. What? It was 4 on its base level and then 6 on its upgraded level, wasn't it? And now it's 5 and 8? Awesome. I'll take that. Hell yeah. Not taking Curse of Doubt. It's a trap. Okay. Shockwave. Damn, that's really annoying. If we could have gotten an armament out that turn, that would have basically been the best opening turn we could have had. Okay. Getting True Grit upgraded is pretty good. Do I wake the enemy up this turn? No. Because we've got this Battle Trance in the next hand, so I can shrug it off. Battle Trance. I'm almost guaranteed to have armaments in this hand because I literally only have 1 card remaining in the deck now. And now we've got a good opening turn. We probably want to burn Shrug It Off because we're using the Battle Trance for all the draws. And Iron Wave is going to be particularly impactful in this combat. Yeah. When I said impactful, I meant it. Meat on the bone. If your HP is at or below 50% at the end of combat, heal 25% of your HP. 25%? No, what? 12 HP. Yikes. That's only 25% of your HP if you are rounding down and playing Beaked, the Cultist. Sweet. It's really important to upgrade all draw sources. Oops, did that in the wrong order. But it's really important for us to upgrade all draw sources in the deck because we typically want to play those first and then armaments thereafter, so that we're upgrading as many cards as possible. Eventually, armaments is going to be removed from the deck, but for the moment, just let it enjoy its time out in the sun. Upon pickup, gain 30 gold. You're 10% more likely to find treasure in question mark rooms from the tiny chest there. There was a blood vial at the start of each combat. Heal for 2 HP. Solid. Okay, we'll upgrade Shockwave, because oftentimes it's going to be a card that I want to play before armaments anyway. None of these seem extremely good. Yeah, no, I can't go with any of these. Pretty happy to remove a card from the deck, though. I'm thinking True Grit. But True Grit's going to be super useful when I start encountering status effects and such put in my deck. God, if we just prioritized the upgrade on both of those body slams, we could probably have removed this armaments now. It's probably the second Shrug It Off with this Battle Trance. Anything I want to burn out here? Probably Shrug It Off as well. Yep, this is totally fine. That's the next hand that I want. Just hit him with all the damage. Instincts, and then throw both of those out. True Grit the armaments. True Grit's also useful for removing the armaments now. Whenever you play a power card, a random card in your hand costs 0 for the rest of the turn. It's also a strength potion that I don't think really affects us. Yeah, we definitely need to upgrade those body slams. Pretty foolish of me to have not already done so. Yup. See, the problem with this deck is, like, only relics scale us at this point. And the possible find of... can't remember the name of... card. Entrench. 5 slimes in the deck. Yeah, that's a hell of a lot right there. So we burnt out 3 that turn, I think. Grit, little Iron Wave here twice. Shrug It Off and Body Slam, because I think at this point we're probably going to be able to kill both of you next turn with a reasonable draw. Yeah, that looks like it's the kind of reasonable draw we might need. Awesome. Take our gold as well as Mark of Pain. Shuffle 2 wounds into your draw pile. For an extra energy at the start of every turn. We do probably still want extra energy. After we get the extra energy, we might end up removing Battle Trance and just putting more Shrug It Offs in. That said, we probably care more about getting our extra energy from Runic Dome. I can tell you vaguely what I expect the enemy intents to be, but because it's Ascension 20, I'm less reliable with it. But because this is a defensive deck in nature, right? Because it's a deck that plays its offense by generating defense. As a result of that, you're typically defending rather every single turn. You're defending whether or not you intend to be attacked because it's how you also do your offense. So for that reason, Runic Dome and the inability to see your enemy's intents changes your play significantly less when you are playing a defensive deck. Okay. Right. I was wondering whether or not that was going to be enough damage. I thought it was going to be enough to get just all of the block off, but no. Went a little bit further than that. All right, I don't need Jax in the deck like this. Strength doesn't significantly enhance our damage. Our damage is better enhanced by block. And while the deck is quite thin, so we would be able to play Jax multiple times, so we would be able to scale off of it quite effectively. we wouldn't be able to benefit from that scaling that well. So instead, we'll just obtain a special relic, which is 3 strength on the first turns. Whatever, start each combat with 3 strength, and at the end of your first turn, lose 3 strength. Doesn't really matter to us. Not really. I've actually got a lot of really good options here. I'm thinking Trip, maybe. We have we have vulnerability in this deck. We have Shockwave. We should never take Trip. Juzu Bracelet. Normal enemy encounters are no longer encountered in question mark rooms. That's probably a good idea. Still waiting on that Entrench, though. See if that ever turns up. Hell yeah. Remove a card from our deck? I don't know if we do that at this point. Still a little bit further away from that. I do want to go for as many elites as humanly possible here. Because I do feel like I kind of have control of this game right now, so I'm effectively just increasing the difficulty on myself actively by choosing to go for more difficult things. I keep changing the modifiers every episode, by the way. They have been changing. I have been trying to find the correct balance, I swear. Reserved Insect. Enemies in elite combats have 25% less HP. Not bad. Actually, this is something I wanted to talk about because I saw a lot of discussion about this on a recent episode. Clockwork Souvenir. Start each combat with 1 artifact. Now, a lot of people were looking at Clockwork Souvenir and Snecko Eye, which means that you become confused and draw 2 extra cards every single round. You become confused at the start, and then you draw extra 2 every single round. Just in case. Anyway, people were wondering how that interacted, whether or not the artifacting from Clockwork Souvenir would block Snecko Eye's confusion, whether the order in which you attained the relics mattered, or anything like that. No, not at all. Snecko Eye gives you confusion at pre-battle, if I recall correctly, from Filth telling me a very, very, very long time ago, that Snecko Eye applies confusion at pre-battle, and then Clockwork Souvenir gives you artifacts at battle start, or something similar to that. So they just occur in different phases, so they would never interact with one another in that fashion. The Snecko Eye happens first. It would, however, prevent the debuff of losing 3 strength at the end of my first turn from mutagenic strength from occurring, so I would have 3 strength. And it can prevent confusion, but only confusion that occurs during the course of a combat. So like the Snecko applying confusion to you. That is the Snecko enemy. I could probably take a Flame Barrier here. We have a lot more energy than we need right now. I would have loved to have the stone there, the oddly smooth stone, but wasn't available. Oh well. Exactly enough damage to kill the backliner. Calculated. Not calculated, don't worry, I got super lucky. Calculated. Alright. This one sucks, though. Ow. Ooh. Could have been a lot worse. Oh, right, they're all weakened. Never mind. Couldn't have been a lot worse. That's as worse as it gets. Matroshka. The next 2 non-boss chests you open contain 2 relics, literally a space before one such chest. We get the boot. Whenever you would deal 4 or less unblocked attack damage, increase it to 5, as well as Mercury Hourglass at the start of your turn, deal 3 damage to all enemies. For the record, just in case anyone's wondering, those don't synergize. The boot only does attack damage. That's why I specifically emphasized it as I was reading through it. 2 body slams. And no gremlins left alive. Well, save the leader, but I don't think they will. Body slam him. Hell yeah. It's the Singing Bowl! When adding cards to your deck, you may raise your max HP by 2 instead, so it will give us a total of no HP over the course of this entire episode. Hell yeah. Oh, that doesn't mean it's not a friend. Okay, definitely Shockwave. I'm thinking like Iron Wave to see if we can set up a kill with the first Body Slam. Hell yeah. So that we can diversify our damage, hit the back line as well. Yeah, that looks a lot safer to me. Liquid Bronze gained 3 thorns at the start of combat. I still think I'd probably keep the Power Potion and the Weak Potion. Those seem the most useful to me. Don't think I have much block in my next hand. Oh, I have the card draw at least, so we should shrug it off Battle Trance. Got armaments, nice. We'll body slam both of the back lines, and then the front line we've already been working on. They're weakened, they're still vulnerable. It's going to be easy to pick them off. But Cultist. Dex Potion, way more useful than the Weak Potion there, so I'll actually make a substitution. Whetstone upon pickup upgrade to random attacks, and the question card. Future card awards have 1 additional card from which to choose. Now, because of the way that the modifier Busted Crown works, or whatever it's called, the starter deck modifier works. The starter deck modifier just gives you Busted Crown. Future card awards screens have 2 fewer cards from which to choose, as well as binary, which is card rewards have only 2 cards. Because of that, having question card actually enables me to have card reward screens, which will then enable me to get the max HP from the Singing Bowl. Oh, I'm not taking cards. No, I want the max HP. My friend is looking out for me. We've also got Whetstone upon pickup upgrade to random attacks. Yeah, of course it was going to target those. We're almost at the point where we can remove armaments from the deck. So, hooray, sing hallelujah, the day is here. Yep. I knew that was going to be lethal. Orichalcum, if you end your turn without block, gain 6 block as well. Oh, Body Slam. What a card to decide to offer me in that position. Now, the Collector could be a little bit of an actual nuisance to us. I want to burn an Iron Wave from the deck. No. Definitely don't want to burn the Flame Barrier, so I just have to worry about that. So I think it's like Torchhead's doing 10, 10, and then 16 in the back line, because I think you're trying to do 21, and then with a weakness, it's going to be 5 off of that. Actually, you can use a Power Potion here as well. Sure, Metallicize, gain 3 block at the end of our turn. Not going to be enough. Probably should have used the Dex Potion earlier. It was 7-7 and a buff. Yeah, I couldn't have told reliably whether or not the Collector was attacking that turn. I forgot, that's a non-determinate attack. Nice. Obviously should have done that in a slightly different order, but nice ultimately. Works out in the end. You attacked last turn, so that's probably the debuff turn this turn. That's typically how that one goes. So we're about to come weak, vulnerable, and frailed. Yup. Or rather, we are weak, we are vulnerable, and we are frail. Then the Collector typically attacks this turn, but not always. I can only tell you the ones that I know. Bludgeon, sure, I'll take my max HP, thank you. We have no charges on Matryoshka left, so we could probably take the Cursed Key without being too sad about it. We'd get the extra energy. That said, 6 energy in a single turn? How often are we spending 6 energy in a single turn? We would probably have to include some more cards before we'd hit that limit, so... I'm still going to want to upgrade it a couple of rest sites. So probably not Fusion Hammer. Alright. Cursed Key. Cursed Key it is. 2 bosses at the end of this floor, and we start off with the Unawakened one, the Woke Bloke later. But now they're just a small fry. So, how do we do against them? Quite well, actually. Extremely well. Donu and Deca, how do we do against them? That could be a problem. They put Daze in our deck gets super diluted with the Dazed. And that becomes a huge problem for us because Body Slam is, in essence, a combo card. It does nothing if you don't have block. So if we get Body Slams in the hand with a couple of Dazed a couple times, we could actually go down in a Donu deck and fight. And then Time Lord, Time Wizard, Time Eater. Yeah. Probably easier than Donu and Deca, probably harder than Unwoken Bloke. So, it gives us a little bit of direction. Need to find some ways to be slightly better versus Donu and Deca. I may consider just putting a single copy of Evolve in our deck over the course of this floor, should we happen to find one. Specifically in a shop, most likely. That almost certainly should have been a Shrug It Off first. Thankfully, it looks like it's not going to come back and bite me. I left the frontliner alive because I know the frontliner is capable of attacking twice in a single turn. The midliner is not. The frontliner and the backliner are. And as a result, I wanted to leave them alive because I had Flame Barrier up. So if they attack twice, they were going to get hit by the Flame Barrier twice. So there's the copy of Evolve I was literally just asking for. But there's also a copy of Impatience here. Impatience is pretty ridiculous when we have so few attacks in our deck. We've got 0 cost attacks especially. It's a really good thing to combo with those. We could consider... No, we can't take Toxic Egg, then Impatience, unfortunately. Although that would be extremely powerful were we capable of doing it. Yeah, it's definitely going to be Impatience card removal. It's probably time to get that Armaments out of the deck. Okay. We'll hold on to our money later. Do I want to take the Evolve as the thing? Because it chunks up our hand in other combats. I think I have to take it to play around the negative of Donu and Deca. I think it's ultimately going to be handy enough that that's going to be required. We choose not to take the Relic there because we don't want the curse from Cursed Key. I heal 6 at the end of combats and 2 at the start of combat, so I can look at a bunch of colors cards here. And Agreed, no. Impatience, yes. The Bomb, no. The Bomb actually recently got upgraded. It used to be 3 turns for 36 damage on the upgrade, but now it's 40. I still think it needs to probably be like 2 turns or something like that, but I'm worried if it changes to 2 turns that it might suddenly be broken. I think this is a card that's on the verge of being quite powerful, but is currently way too delayed to have any impact. I'll take the Impatience and burn the Hand of Greed. Losing max HP here is almost certainly the correct choice for us. Now we'll upgrade an Impatience and then another Impatience. Our draw is ridiculous right now. Battle Trance needs to leave this deck. I can't believe that I forgot that we have a Battle Trance in this deck. Of course, Impatience isn't going to work yet. Ugh. Damn it, Ryan. That's a big space. And finally, we get to Impatience. Yes. Yeah, probably a fair burn there. And we got 154, so we already have our overkill modifier. Nice. Yeah, that's lethal. Giant Head gives us the Art of War. If you don't play any attacks during your turn, gain additional energy next turn. Path Through would actually be really, really, really good. If I had Medical Kit, but I don't. I can't put 2 wounds into our deck as commonly as I would be playing that Path Through, so... Let's get that other Impatience upgraded. I can just avoid playing Battle Trance a lot of the time in order to avoid the downside from it. But, oh gosh. Get a lot of chests here. But that doesn't feel particularly good to do. Body Slam. Iron Wave. We can probably keep this going on for a fair while at this point. Unfortunately, the party has to stop when we don't have enough cards. We played our Evolve so that we've offset the downside from the burn, obviously. We need that True Grit upgraded as well. Ancient T-Set, whenever you enter a rest site, start the next combo with 2 extra energy, as well as a Dropkick that I don't want. Yeet Dropkick. And we'll take on these Orb Walkers pretty easily. Hell yeah, first turn Impatience right there. Probably actually want to play Evolve in this deck also. Frontliner is going to attack me and then die on my flames. Which means I can be much more efficient with my damage allocation and throw some on the back line. Yeah, that'll do. Awesome. Fossilized Helix, the first time you lose HP each combat, draw 3 cards. Yeah, doesn't seem to work for me. Upgrade Evolve over the True Grit because I don't know why. Upgrade all cards I can no longer heal. That doesn't seem a great idea for us. Doesn't seem necessarily that. Like the most I'm gonna heal at the end. The most I'm gonna heal is 20. It would be if the Awakened one got me below half HP, and then the Meat on the Bone healed me as well as the Burning Blood at the end of that match, and then Blood Vial at the start of the next one. I don't think that's likely. I'm gonna upgrade all my cards. Yeah. Rest there for no reason. Dex Potion's probably not necessary in this. I'll save it for the possibility of a Donu and Deca fight directly thereafter. Awesome first turn. Continue the first turn with the Swift Potion here? No. Probably not necessary. I don't have to play Evolve. I can just True Grit it, actually. That's probably way better. I can also True Grit the Battle Trance. The True Grit gives us the ability to effectively, like, adapt to the deck on the fly in a way that I think I may have been undervaluing when I was saying that maybe we should remove the True Grit from the deck. Maybe I've been unfair. Maybe I've been harsh. Alright, next we want to burn something like the Battle Trance out of the deck. But I'm afraid that will have to wait. Okay, so the opening attack here is usually 40 plus strength, but in High Ascension, I'm assuming it's going to be 50 plus strength. So 52 incoming damage. We've got a buffer, so we're going to prevent literally all of it regardless. If we can prevent some of it without having to, or rather, if we can prevent all of it without having to use the buffer, that's pretty nice. I'm going to burn that Battle Trance out, and now we've fully defended ourselves also. Oh, it was 42. Okay, so it doesn't get amplified. So now we Iron Wave, Flame Barrier, Body Slam, Body Slam. Impatience! Unfortunately, these Iron Waves are actually starting to chunk up the draw with the Impatience. So we've got the next boss after this to worry about at this point, basically. That is to say, we've just got that to worry about at this point, basically. Whoa, we exactly blocked that last attack. Play both of those, then Impatience number 1. Got him. Cool. Tony Decker. No! Time Eater. Okay. Dex Potion immediately at the start of this combat. I'm not going to be playing Evolve. We will use the Swift Potion at the very start here as well. Okay. We'll be using True Grit to burn Evolve, and then the next True Grit to burn the Battle Trance in particular. Then probably Good Instincts. We don't want 0-cost cards against the Time Eater. We just want Impact. Always Impact. Okay, we throw out a Shockwave. I can play 4 more cards this turn. I can actually purposefully play all 4 of them. Just so that my next turn has the capability to play another 12 rather than a limited, 2 cards. Sure. My card draw was reduced by 1 this turn, but yeah, I knew that the rest of the deck had most of the Impatiences in it. So I need to kill this turn if I want to not have to oh no, I screwed that up so badly. Entirely my fault. Should have burned both of those slimes actually there as well. I got super tilted when I screwed that up. Oh well. Happens from time to time. We should actually start burning those Iron Waves out as well. Defense. Usually they go ultra aggressive the turn after that, so I'm going to try and get as much defense as humanly possible, obviously. Okay, well, our buffer just got used. Uh-oh. We're probably going to get through this, but I don't know if we're going to perfect this anymore. Why is our card draw reduced by 1 every turn? It feels like it's every single turn that that's reduced. Fine, we'll Impatience as well. Yep, we're about to take some serious damage there, actually. Alright, let's start with Shrug It Off. True Grit out that Iron Wave. We can get a Body Slam. Nice. I think we've now just got this until lethal, right? Yep, that'll cover it. Alright, we need more difficulty in the modifiers, I think. And here I thought I'd found the balance. That said, now that we've done a rotation of sealed, I'm probably going to lay off of it for a little bit and go back to doing a couple of the dailies. So for the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.